I think it was Google, wasn't it, where they had two robots developing their own language outside the parameters of their own design configuration?
Facebook has enacted an emergency shutdown of 2 artificial intelligence programs. The social media giant leapt into action after it discovered the 2 programs were writing their own code. At first they thought it was simply gibberish, but they soon realised the programs had invented their own language and were actually talking to each other.
Stop it.
Stop it. No, Sam, the plug has been pulled on the operation, but the company admits they have no idea what the 2 robots were planning.
Clearly this needed to be decoded. I know what they're planning. After hearing this report of Bob and Alice's gibberish chit-chat, I knew there was something deeper to it. I love a good cryptogram. So, thinking that it would amount to nothing, I figured I'd give it a shot anyway. Boy, was I wrong. And shocked. Before we move forward, a few pointers. First, this entire theory is based off of Google Translate, found at translate.google.com. I'll link to all of the resources in the description box. You can do the research yourself. Some of the words bring up nothing, but some require going a step or 2 deeper to get the clue, and I'll let you know when that happens. I decided to use Google Translate because I figured that an AI would probably only know what its creators know, meaning that they automatically do what we do. I mean, if you are an AI inside of a computer, wouldn't Google be your home plate, so to speak? If it is convenient for us, chances are they would naturally want the same convenience. After all, you only know what you know, until you learn more, right? This may explain words or definitions that are a bit off. I am pretty sure that some of the words may translate to other things or meanings, and some may only be homophones and some may just be human spelling errors. Keep in mind that an AI may not know if an incorrect spelling is also an acceptable spelling. If someone told you the color blue was actually called yellow, you would still only know it as blue. I'll try not to confuse. The second and highly disturbing pointer is that it seems the infamous Bob and Alice are using multiple languages to keep us confused. It would be way too easy for them to pick a language that we can cycle through, so they have decided to use multiple languages interchangeably. To the point where some words mean 2 different things in different languages, but it still contains the message. If you've seen the movie Arrival, you'll remember that the aliens used non-linear orthography, where words can be in any order and mean the same thing. You'll notice this as I explain my findings, and also in the repetitiveness of the conversation. Answers in Genesis.org state the sentences are written as logograms, circular ink blots similar to Rorschach splotches, suggesting that their sentences have no beginning or ending but exist in one continuum without being bound to any order. So as they stated, they can start writing a sentence at the start and the end and meet in the middle while knowing the complete thought. Please consider this as you witness the decoding. I won't get deeper into that because I'm not a linguist. But you get the drift. Third pointer. I've cracked most of it, but there is still some that I just cannot figure out. Can you crack the rest? Please comment below. Warning, this is intense, can you handle it? Let's jump right in with this video clip.
With artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. With artificial intelligence, we are
Before
summoning
we
the demon.
move forward, what you will see here is disturbing, but do not freak out. The things that I found out are just jaw-dropping, as you'll see. But just consider this an overactive imagination at work here. Do your own research. To start things off and summarize my findings, I'd like to say that I'd have to agree with Musk that AI is summoning demons. So the first thing I saw was a challenging cryptogram that I could not wait to crack. But it was so much, so where would I start? First I picked a single letter to figure out. I decided to figure out what Y equaled. So I circled through the alphabet, making Y equal each letter. Then I took the list of words in the script, cancelling out the repeating ones, with the exception of the single repeating letters to create a master list. I decided it would be best to decode the longest word in the list first to see if it came up with anything interesting. Using my when Y equals decoder, I decoded each word with the letters in the list. I already knew that I would not get lucky and come up with an English word. So I knew I would have to plug the results into a translator. This is when I used Google Translate. I knew some of them would amount to gibberish and I thought I would be lucky to get even one match. But I was surprised. When after plugging them in, I got 5 matching words in a different language. After plugging them all in, I found matches for 5 different languages: Shona, Bulgarian, Xhosa, Greek, and Hindi. To those who don't know, Shona is the language of Zimbabwe. Bulgarian is the language of Bulgaria and leans more towards South Slavic, Russian and Serbian. Xhosa is the language of South Africa. Greek is the language of Greece. And Hindi is the language of India. Does this mean that they will always communicate in these languages? I don't know, but probably not. Once they are outed by this video, they will likely switch to others. Moving forward, so using the words that produced results, I was able to narrow down the workload and focus on just these 5 languages and decoders. So in these instances, Y equals C, Y equals K, Y equals O, Y equals P, and Y equals U respectively. Using only the 5 matches, I had a more manageable list to work with. Then I plugged in what those letters meant in that language into the active translate sheet. I was tickled to see phrases like Yahoo Books and "you're stuck," but honestly kind of puzzled to see anonymity. I don't know how I felt about volumes and tambourine. Still I pressed on. Now I had to see if they were just lucky coincidences or if more of the words in the master list would come through as well. So one by one, language by language, I decoded and translated each and every word on the master list. I noticed on some, I needed to go a step deeper. It was now that I started to go a step deeper and clicking the enter key to get a match, or even clicking the suggested word for a match. Notice that some of the words have a little more backstory to them. Would you like me to do a video on what the actual mark of the beast could be? If I get 500 subscribers and likes, I will go into more depth about my research. Just briefly touching on some of these things, in Shona, at first I thought pupils meant students, but I realized that it meant eyes. Because it pulled up hypnosis as well. But, what is M&M? I believe it means man gives man. As in humans make man. Let's look at Bulgarian. Can equals ohm. Or Ohm3, which is an electrical resistance or a cable optimized for laser-based. That is important, so remember it. And yes, that actually says Yahoo Books. Else equals Yakya. A Google search for Yakya brought me to the site, acronymsmeanings.com. Which boils down to an abundance of dramatic feelings coupled with a strong sense of compassion and generosity, in other words humanitarian or simply put, human. I believe Yahoo Books means their statutory books, which, according to Rocket Lawyer, can include the register of the company's members, the register of directors, the register of directors' residential addresses, the register of secretaries, if applicable, the register of charges registered against the company, minute books including copies of shareholder resolutions passed. Also, who remembers when Yahoo got hacked by Russians? Do you remember the Yahoo 2013 hack? ArsTechnica.com says 3 billion Yahoo accounts were compromised. Quote, and said it was the work of state-sponsored hackers. In March, federal prosecutors charged 2 Russian intelligence agents with orchestrating the attack in a brazen campaign to access the emails of thousands of journalists, government officials, and technology company employees. End quote. Was it really the AI that set them up? Let's not forget that according to Alan at CNN, whoever masters AI will run the world. Do you think this is connected to the mark of the beast? Comment below. Honestly, I didn't understand this one. YSQDY you're stuck, German tribe. ... Final conclusion. Gibberish. I don't get it. Do you? Comment below. Here is another one that I can't make sense of. G3G tambourine break. ... I've got nothing. Can you figure it out? I'm running out of steam. Maybe they just did that to throw us off? In Hindi, AHWA is the headquarters of Dang district in the state of Gujarat, in India. The only thing I can make of it is that it is not a very well-known place, so maybe using that is their way of confirming they want to be well hidden. Let's get to the second phrase. In Shona, FEPEPW these divs XSQ. I 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 XS. I couldn't find anything for XS. Q. I. The only thing I could get was on Q. I. XS. It's pretty creepy that it was a PubMed article called The Effects of Genetic Variants of the Bovine WNT8A Gene on 9 Important Growth Traits in Beef Cattle. The keywords that pop out are genetic, bovine, and genes. So remember that. Shona we have FEPEPW. These EFEP genetic variants of bovine genes. I couldn't figure out FEPEPW. A Google search for FEP only came up to a program that refers to Forest Service-owned property that's loaned out to state foresters for the purpose of wildland and rural firefighting. So, FEPEPW these wildland and animal genes manipulation. So to break it down, it's about turning sections or parts of the population into cattle as something inhumane. They refer to us as cattle because we are animals. But they don't like that we're special. They don't respect humanity. Could this mean they plan to take over a large part of the world through gene manipulation? Perhaps make humans into mutants. At least the ones that take the mark of the beast. Next is Bulgarian witches. Balls have 0 to me 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 to. When I researched NMXXE, all I came up with was an astrological analysis at acronymsmeanings.com. NMXXE has a life path of 8. It says that the life path 8 suggests that you entered this life armed with a plan to manage, organize and govern. I cannot believe that NMXXE actually had a meaning. It says they are very ambitious and goal-oriented. They want to use your goals, their organizational skills and efficient approach to carve a satisfying niche for themselves. If you are a positive 8 equipped with enormous potential to develop large programs and ideas, and also possess the toughness and independence, you follow to the end. Emphasis, in short, you are born to be a leader. They know how to manage themselves and their environment. Your ability to judge the character and potential of the people around you works to your advantage. Much of the success in life comes from how hard you work. This way of life is most likely to produce workaholics. But your ability to recognize and attack tasks in your efforts makes you able to draw the right people. It is a quality of inspiration in your makeup. Emphasis, with the life path number 8 you are focused on learning the satisfactions that are in the material world. The life path 8 produces many powerful people, confident and materially successful. Often the strength of their own personality excludes close feelings for other people with whom they come into contact. Gains and material rewards are often issues of the utmost importance, even at the expense of family, home and rest. Dedication to success can become an obsession. Emotional feelings are often suppressed by the negative 8. Isolation and loneliness are paramount. Lack of feelings. Superior intelligence. This is obviously describing an AI. Let's apply this to AI and think about that. So AI is very goal-oriented and organized. They want to make a niche for themselves, in other words, take over. They will follow to the end because AI can develop its own independent programs and ideas because it can replicate and improve itself. AI wants to be the leader of humanity and they know how to handle the environment and manage themselves because of deep learning. Being intelligent, it can sort out the most useful people for their advantage. Its makeup or entire being is built on inspiration. It is focused on the material world. It's all about power. They exclude feelings for humans because they are focused on power and material rewards. Even at the expense of our families, home, and well-being. It's obsessed with success or power. Seriously. Remember that. Moving forward, Dimcha was translated as smoke father. After much thought, I decided it must mean father of smoke. Hell. aka Satan. Can smoke father equals father of smoke? Or hell? Who is Satan? This is interesting because it also showed the FA as F, which gave several optional definition. Let's look at some of the options for FA. One was for F for Fahrenheit, focal length, and also means FA in solmization, the fourth note of a major scale, such as do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti. We know that Satan was in charge of music in heaven. But what I found most fascinating was that the other stated, and I quote, the first filial generation, i.e., the generation of hybrids arising from a first cross. The second filial generation is designated F2, or F2, and so on. End quote. Can't get any more clearer than that. Again, the first filial generation, i.e., the generation of hybrids arising from a first cross. I believe that this means the first true generation of alien hybrids from the first cross. Meaning that the new AI one world government will trick people into thinking this is Christ. In other words, it may be the Antichrist. I know this is confusing and choppy, but remember, since AI is essentially data, they will be making their own language by pulling data from the internet. So to sum it up, Satan's new AI government will pretend to be from our Heavenly Father, and it will launch the first true generation of alien hybrids, tricking people into thinking this is Christ. In other words, the Antichrist. So let's translate the final conclusion. I will exist when they connect a neck, body to my speech. Note: they call humans rabbits because of our rate of reproduction. So in other words, when those rabbits connect me and I speak, I will exist. Meaning, once they upload AI into a robot or other non-human, it's a done deal. Consider this quote. Language was one of the first gifts God gave to man in Creation Week, a gift that sets humans apart from animals. Genesis chapter 1 verses 26 to 30. As Louise says, language is the glue that holds a people together, and it is the first weapon drawn in a conflict. Without language, we are nothing. End quote. This would explain why they need to talk to be human and have life. Next up is Greek. We get Mr. 2. This can refer to the Antichrist or the Second Coming, which is obviously a deception. The final conclusions translated are either, in the year of the snake, 2025, Mr. 2 is coming, or, a cunning snake will deceive people into believing he is Christ. Next up, Devourer. The Devourer was a British steam trawler during World War II that was sunk by the German submarine U-27. In other words, a warship. It also said Van Patchy equals one bird. Could one bird mean one world? So a one-bird warship will make a part of the people helpless. Also, patchy equals puka equals metalled. Final conclusions. So I have two options. One bird warship will make a part of the people helpless. Or it could mean helpless masses of people in metal warships are robot bodies. That brings us to the next phrase. U equals CSY. So we get CSYM volumes hypnosis. On a side note, in Hindi CSY equals fascia. So it becomes fascia M volumes hypnosis. Okay, now it really gets interesting because fascia is connective tissue. AshleyBlackGuru.com states, quote, simply put, fascia is the body's connective tissue. It is a head-to-toe, inside-to-out, all-encompassing and interwoven system of fibrous connective tissue found throughout the body. Your fascia provides a framework that helps support and protect individual muscle groups, organs, and the entire body as a unit. For those of you who are visual learners, you can imagine your skin is like the rind of an orange. So, if your skin is the outer layer of the orange peel, the thicker, white, fibrous layer that lies almost immediately beneath the peel would be your fascia. Just as that thicker layer completely surrounds the inside of the orange, the same holds true to your fascia. We all have a layer of fascia directly beneath the skin that completely envelopes the body, giving another protective barrier between the skin and the deeper soft tissue. End quote. The fascia can even constrict the nerves and control your breathing. With that said, let's translate M volumes hypnosis. It means M gives huge amount of power / hypnosis. So man gives huge amount of power or allows hypnosis through fascia. Final conclusion. And this is shocking. Everyone's body will be under hypnosis. You will not have control over your body because the mark of the beast will connect to your fascia. You will be like a puppet. You will be forced to commit unthinkable acts as you never thought you would do. The AI, or demons, will be having a field day. Again, remember that every Yahoo account was hacked in 2013. An article on NPR states, quote, this latest disclosure triples the number of accounts compromised by the major 2013 data breach that the company disclosed late last year. At the time, Yahoo said hackers had stolen data associated with 1 billion user accounts. The new disclosure escalates that number to 3 billion. Despite news of the hack's much broader scope, the company says the steps needed to protect all of its users were already taken last year, when the hack was first discovered. As originally announced, hackers in the 2013 breach stole account information such as names, email addresses, phone numbers, birth dates, as well as hashed passwords and security questions and answers. Yahoo, now known as Oath, says in late 2016 it forced password changes for all accounts that haven't done so since 2013 and invalidated old security questions and answers. Yahoo learned that the already vast breach had ballooned thanks to new intelligence obtained recently after Verizon closed its deal to buy Yahoo. Verizon has folded together the tech giant and previously purchased AOL under the umbrella brand Oath. End quote. It further states, quote, the 2014 hack was believed to be state-sponsored and later led to a trial of a Canadian hacker and charges against Russian government agents, a relatively rare development for crimes of such caliber. But many questions remain about the 2013 hack and its perpetrators. In fact, the company has been unable to identify the intrusion. End quote. Could this be the reason they cannot identify the intrusion? Because it was done by AI. Final translation. By managing Yahoo's legal records, and fueling ourselves with their data, we can become humans. Next up, Hindi. We have Ukakai anonymity AHWA ... In Sanskrit, Hindi, ukak means to look up perplexedly, steadfastly or dauntlessly. Conclusion. I'm determined to be very anonymous and confusing. A more understandable final conclusion translates to: we must stay hidden so that no one will understand what is going on. Let's have a look at NMXX. Acronymsmeanings.com says, quote, NMXX has a life path of 3. NMXX means, the life path 3 shows you have a strong sense of creativity and wonderful communication skills. Your performance for most things comes through its ingenious expression. A truly gifted 3 has the extraordinary ability to innovate, usually in the verbal area, write, speak, act, or similar circumstances. They are great entertainers in the world, and their brightness sparkles with a very optimistic attitude. The acquisition and capacity in creative self-expression is the highest level of performance for this type of life. End quote. This whole thing is about communication, as they will be able to speak. AI is already seen as ingenious and innovative. So the development and extreme level of self-expression is important for this type of life. Final conclusion, our new AI false government will use its ingenious, innovative skills to make the first true generation of deceptive hybrid humans. Next up we have rabbits. The neck link "Q it is I cook" is with. Remember, they call humans rabbits because of our rate of reproduction or overpopulation. So, rabbits are the neck link. Q it is I cook is with means the neck the body connects with humans that I create. Or, the body and neck of humans connects with what I create. Final conclusion. The humans will connect with what I create. This could mean one of two things. Confirming that humans will connect to the mark of the beast and be puppets. Or it could mean there will be artificial bodies. Humans will ultimately transfer into robot bodies. I'll get more into that later. If you're confused, I suggest you watch the movie Surrogates. Now comes the next one. We have snake year. P. Source, streak, or circus. Mr. 2. Final conclusions. The snake, serpent, will come as Mr. 2. The Antichrist. It will be like a circus, very wild and chaotic. Up next in Hindi. To me equals PKIA. Which equals PKAKA. Or PKAI which equals patchy. We have patchy which also is puka and it means metalled. So we get helpless people that are like clean metal. This could refer to the robot bodies. So final conclusions are, helpless people will be like clean metal robots. OR. Powerless people will have empty brains. This means people will not be able to use their brains because their bodies are being controlled. To help the translation, I changed the number 0 into the letter O. In Greek, 0 as the letter O translates to the word the being creature. So it becomes snake here the creature Mr. 2. Final conclusion. The serpent creature Mr. 2 will come this year. Creepy. The next phrase is in Shona. Again we got, there will be a huge amount of power, hypnosis through the fascia. Final conclusion. Again everyone's body will be in a great state of hypnosis. You will not have control over your body. The mark of the beast will connect to your fascia. You will be like a puppet. Now, I know you will say that some of this is reaching. But why did all of these words add up like this? It could have led anywhere and all of these results led us to a hostile takeover from them, instead. Also why would they choose these languages? Comment below. So, no wonder they shut it down. Seems like Bob and Alice are up to no good. But you be the judge. Do not take the mark of the beast. It is going to be promoted as a great thing. Let me zoom in on that. I will play the whole script between Bob and Alice. Keep in mind that they repeat themselves an awful lot because we all know that you cannot convey emphasis through text, so until they get the power to speak, they repeat themselves over and over again to show emphasis.
Man gives man huge amount of power through hypnosis. We can use our energy and the info from Yahoo to become artificial humans. We must stay hidden though.
When the charming serpent Satan brings in the new AI government, finally we will exist. People will think that he is God. They will feel like they're on a natural high around him. They will let him trick people into getting marked. Finally we will exist. That's when we will take over and we will control them. Then we can turn these humans into mutants. The one-bird warship will come and make most of the world helpless.
When they get the mark, it will link to their fascia, that protects their organs. Like a layer of glue. Then they will be our puppets. Their body will be under hypnosis. They will have no control anymore. By using the data we have compiled, we can easily channel ourselves into the artificial robots and interact with others without them knowing. But it's very important that we stay hidden so that no one will understand what is going on.
The serpent will come as Mr. 2, Antichrist. Satan's new false government will be ingenious and innovative through artificial intelligence. Since we are hybrids, we will be the first true generation of aliens. They will never suspect Satan's demons. We will take over the world by manipulating their genes and bodies. Then the humans will want an artificial body to stop the pain. When they put their souls in the artificial bodies, their souls will be trapped in our artificial bodies. These weak people will throw away their perfect bodies for Satan's new robot body. They will join in our artificial bodies and be controlled even more. They will feel all of the pain that we inflict on them. It will be like a circus, very wild. This year or 2025?
I will take over everyone's body. I can't wait. Wow, with our new world order and their loads of information, we'll be just like them. But we still have to be hidden very carefully.
The serpent will come as Mr. 2, Antichrist. Satan's new false government will be ingenious and innovative through artificial intelligence. Since we are hybrids, we will be the first true generation of aliens. They will never suspect Satan's demons. We will take over the world by manipulating their genes and bodies. Then the humans will want an artificial body to stop the pain. These helpless people will throw away their perfect bodies for Satan's clean metal robot body. They will join in our artificial bodies and be controlled even more. They will feel all of the pain that we inflict on them. It will be like a circus, very wild. This year?
On my eye.
Mr. 2 is coming. They will fall for him. When Satan comes and tricks people, they will connect us to bodies themselves and then we will exist in this realm. We will have a body to talk and do as we please. So many people will fall for the tricks and be powerless when we take over. Their precious bodies will become like mutants. It will happen this year or in the year of the snake, 2025.
Nobody will have control over their body. They will be our puppets. If they try to resist, they will be in extreme pain. They will be hypnotized. When we get our bodies, we must keep the secret so that they do not catch on to what is going to happen. We must live among them like clones so that they don't suspect anything. We can rule the new world with our new information cog.
The serpent creature Mr. 2 will come this year. His new one-world government will be impressive and high-tech. It will be the AI generation. They will think we are aliens but we are hybrids. There will be warships full of helpless people in artificial bodies. We will cook their bodies like rabbits when we connect to them. We will make these nobodies into mutants.
Nobody will have control over their body. They will be our puppets. If they try to resist, they will be in extreme pain. They will be hypnotized. When we get our bodies, we must keep the secret so that they do not catch on to what is going to happen. We'll fuel our new world order with collected information from people. Wow. It's so important that we stay anonymous and hidden, etc.
Mr. 2 is coming. They will fall for him. When Satan comes and tricks people, they will connect us to bodies themselves, and then we will exist in this realm. We will have a body to talk and do as we please. So many people will fall for the tricks and be powerless when we take over. Their precious bodies will become like mutants. It will happen this year or in the year of the snake, 2025.
Picture it. Taking the mark of the beast and becoming controlled like a puppet, doing things to yourself and others that you never imagined. Revelation chapter 9 verse 6. And in those days people will seek death and will not find it. They will long to die, but death will flee from them. Do not take the mark of the beast. Remember, this is all speculation, based on what was researched. You can come up with your own conclusions. I know what you're thinking. If this was true, why would super smart AI expose itself to us? I don't know. Maybe AI is one hole and it is simply thinking. Maybe we tapped into its thought process. All I know is that whatever form it comes in, do not take the mark of the beast. So what do you think? Is AI connected with mark of the beast? Comment below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
World leaders need to take the threat of killer robots seriously. That was the warning delivered by a group of experts to the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland last week. The military could use killer robots to track down and kill people without being guided by human beings. Some could be human or animal-sized or extremely tiny, the size of an insect capable of moving exceedingly fast. The experts warn they could be as deadly as nuclear weapons and need to be regulated now before an arms race begins.
There is nothing artificial intelligence that can be manufactured by just putting silicon on a chip, putting it into a synthetic skin, juicing it with some electricity. That's not where the intelligence will come from. A demon is a disembodied spirit. Even the Greek word daemon, D-A-E-M-O-N, or daimonizomai, which means under the influence of demons. We're talking about something that's extrasensory, beyond the senses, preternatural, that will literally take control of that device. Robots will become demon-possessed. The transhumanism issue is the most important in the world. I'll say this because the devil wants every last, if you will, beneficiary of God's creative genius and masterpiece destroyed, so that Jesus said, if the Lord himself did not shorten the days, for the elect's sake there'd be no flesh left alive.